uh, maybe we can just get on and start sharing. I'm sharing a screen. I hope you're able to see. And the idea is to learn and earn in campus. And I'm not talking about things I don't know. I'm talking about things I've done, things I've lived. When I joined campus, my first objective was to learn, was to earn. I love saying that when I was coming to the university, and that's University of Nairobi, I wasn't coming to learn. I was coming to learn about, to earn. I was coming to establish myself in Nairobi and be able to live because I knew that the circulation in the capital city must be higher than back in my local town. And so university just gave me an opportunity to come to Nairobi because I could not find a good reason to come to Nairobi. But then I really wanted to be in Nairobi. So coming to the university, the first and most immediate need was for me to survive in the university because I did not have people to depend on. I did not have pocket money, people to supply me with pocket money. I had not lived in a culture where I was being given things. So this was quite a new environment, but one of the most important things to me was to learn how I can earn as I learn in the university, as I attend my lectures. And I pretty much did it. I lived well. Most people thought I was very rich, from a very rich background. Little did they know that I was even homeless, by the way. You see, because I was able to earn in the university and live a super normal life. I didn't cook in the hostels that like people do. I hardly did that. A few times I was doing it. I didn't do it personally. It's my roommate who did it and was doing it on my behalf because I was the breadwinner. I was able to buy food. So we separated tasks. I will buy, you cook, and you wash utensils. You see? And I was able to earn enough money to also support my siblings who are also going through education at lower levels. And I managed to do all that. I was involved in leadership. I was involved in church activities. I was still studying, and one of the toughest courses you can ever do in the university, and that's physics. So I'm going to share some of the things that I was able to learn along the way. Today, I'm better equipped for that than I was then. You see, today I've learned lots of things. I help people to even start their own businesses and grow. And so I'm more educated. And if I had gotten this particular knowledge when I was starting the university, maybe I would have done much better. So this is just where we were pondering, what is it that we expect? And everyone has something that is disturbing his mind or her mind, trying to look for some information that may be able to help. And remember, by the way, it's very important that you become somebody who can earn, because poverty makes some other people take advantage of us. That's why politicians might take advantage of you. They are going to give you some 200 bob, and you're going to make noise in the streets, or cause chaos somewhere. That's why some NGOs will come and buy you with the stuff and distribute to you things that don't add much value in the name of family planning, and yet you do not have a family to plan. That's why some maybe sugar daddies, sugar mummies take advantage of young people, and by the end of the day distort your good future because you haven't learned to earn and take care of yourself. And being in the university, being in campus, being in college, it means you are attaining a universal level of knowledge. And that means you should be somebody who can think and come up with ideas. So some of the questions we're going to answer, some of the things we're going to discuss, perhaps will include what you expect, but in a nutshell, we will learn how do people earn money. This is very critical. You'll be surprised even adults, some adults don't know this idea. We will learn how do I earn money, you as an individual, how does your neighbor earn? This is a question that disturbed me, by the way, when I was in class 6. That's when they introduced me to business education. But before that, I kept wondering, how can I get money? The first real business I did was when I was in class 6. I did not have money, and I saw fellow or pupils buying things in college, in school. They would buy sugarcane, buy mandazis, buy jaggery, all sorts of things during breaks. But I could not. I did not have shoes. I did not have a lot of things. And I asked one of my friends and neighbors, where do you get your money? And guess what he answered me? That my debtors pay me back. And I was wondering, where the hell did he get money to loan other people? You see, so it's something that had disturbed me for quite some time. Why are others broke and others doing better? Where is the reason for this? Who can earn? And what are the qualifications? This, if we can answer these questions well, then you will be better equipped, not just now, but even for your future. Throughout your life, you will be better equipped because you will have learned the ways of life. A few years ago, not very few, probably over 10, I was watching a movie, a Nigerian movie, and nowadays I don't watch them. And an old man was speaking there, and he said, life is a riddle. Life is a riddle. He was telling his son. And only the wise can dance to its tune. Only the wise. Now, where is that wisdom? Wisdom is never studied in college. Wisdom is never studied in school. It's never in most of the classrooms. Wisdom is something else. And it's part of what we learn over time through experience and study. And so, first question, how do people earn? Perhaps I need to hear what some people are saying. How do people earn money? Yes? Kevin Ratemo, could you kindly tell me what you think about that? How do people earn money? In your own opinion. Is Kevin listening? Ceci, how do people earn money? Cecilia.
By getting side hustle.
Side hustle? Why not front? Why is side? Oh, and what is this side hustle?
I don't know. I'm calling them side because if you're in school, in college, then that wouldn't be your main.
I just asked how do people earn money, not how do people earn money in campus. Yeah, this is a universal principle. Yeah. Gift Masha, are you able to speak? How do people earn money?
I think people earn money by investments.
By investment, through investing.
Yeah.
So, okay, those are some of the ideas that people can share. Welcome everyone. I see Lucy. Lucy has been the dean, assistant dean of students in Chiromo. Karibu, Chiromo campus. That was my campus many years ago. Now, the only way through which people earn money is when they sell something. Selling is what earns money. It doesn't matter the product you're selling. Some people sell desperation, and students can be very good at this. And I know a number of them who always sold to me their desperation. That is not long ago. Now that I'm out of college, you meet them and they will tell you all sorts of problems so that you can have some mercy. And by their desperation, pay them something. There are people who sell lies. There are people who sell skills. There are people who sell products. There are people who sell their time. There are people who sell their energy. Yes, you sell your energy, you're carrying somebody's luggage from here to there, they pay you. There are people who sell some time, their time. That's why some people came up with the idea that time is money. Yes, because you are paid per hour, you are paid per whatever. There are people who sell skills. Maybe you're an accountant, CPA, you're a programmer. There are people who sell knowledge. Yes, maybe through books, whatever, and or teaching and things like that. So there is no way you're going to earn money under the sun unless you sell something. And I love this. This is algebra. I think it's linear algebra 1. If A equals B and C equals B, then what does that mean? It means that is transitivity. It means A equals C. Now, why do I say this? Many of us leaders, and I believe you are leaders, people in the university, people at different levels of learning are meant to be leaders. And most of us take the word selling to be very demeaning. The idea is we do not really know what selling is. And what does selling mean? I will say to you that we always say that sales equals leadership. And this is my interpretation. Because we say sales equals influence. Selling means you are trying to help somebody to understand something you understand, love something you love, and enjoy it. It doesn't necessarily mean exchanging money. It means you could sell ideas. And that is what leadership is. Leadership is influence. Sales is also influence. So sales and leadership are one and the same thing. The only difference is we start from the level of sales, a salesperson. An ordinary salesperson is just but a salesperson. But above that, we have leaders. Leaders now can sell what is unseen as well. They can sell ideas, they can sell a vision, they can sell a course, and people will join them. People will buy their idea and move with them. And some people will even buy it more passionately and perpetuate it even much further, even after the leader's tenure. Now, above leadership, we have entrepreneurship, where now you do not just deal with processes and or just with people, but you deal with processes, systems, and people, and everything else. Like running a country, being a president is some sort of entrepreneurship. You must check all the resources, including human resources, and things should work. But that is a big level of salesmanship or salespersonship, but people don't look at it like that. So what I'm trying to say is, for you to learn, you must start growing as a leader. Growing as a leader, we say a leader is like an elephant. You cannot hide an elephant. You will be seen wherever you are. And people will always see value in you and want to engage you. So we must start seeing ourselves as growing in leadership in order to be able to learn. When you're growing in leadership, you're growing in value in the marketplace. Now, let's move on. So selling is transfer of enthusiasm. I'm excited about something and I'm therefore sharing it with you. And so you get excited about it and you can buy it either by money or in kind, or going to pay in one way or the other. And so if we get something we are excited about, and most of us are, you realize that you're excited about a number of things and you always sell them, only that nobody pays you in cash, then we are salespeople. I love saying that. For example, I've been able to sell Equity Bank more than some Equity Bank agents themselves. I've been able to sell Huawei phones, for example, more than Huawei guys. Why? Because I loved them, and I said the same thing with Dell computers. All the things that the brands that I fall in love with, I tend to sell them. And you realize that you too always try to sell some things. You let people to love those things. That is what we are calling a transfer of enthusiasm. Now, people who sell will earn. People who sell earn. So each and every one of you who earns, ask yourself, what are you selling? And if you ever earned some money, ask yourself, what is it that you sold? What did you sell? So success leaves tracks. That's why there are these footprints. Success leaves tracks. If somebody has done it and achieved something, you can also do it. All of us can do something that has been done. I remember when I joined the university, physics was very hard. It was very hard in Chiromo. And one of my relatives called me at one point and asked, how are studies? I said, it's very tough. Yeah, very tough. And all he asked me was, did anyone ever do it? Has anyone ever done what you're doing? I said, yeah, there are enough people, including the lecturers themselves. Then he said, then it can be done. So we can always do it. What can you sell, you as an individual? And this is what we call the law of cause and effect. What causes something to happen will always cause it. Yes, if you follow a particular trend, you're going to get the results that people who do that get. If you follow a particular procedure, a particular recipe, you will produce the same result. If it is food, if it is a menu, you will get it. So all you need to learn is how do you do that? And why are others broke? Now you should be able to know this. They are broke, one, because they don't sell. They don't sell anything. Number two, they could be having nothing to sell. We say poor people are poor because they have nothing to sell. Or maybe they are poor in selling. They cannot brand themselves well. They are not able to package themselves in a way that they are sellable. And by the way, I've done lots of interviews for people who are out of college, like some of you are, or some of you will be. And you realize that they don't even know how to package themselves. And so they cannot be bought by the employers. They cannot be given an opportunity. You see, so they are poor salespeople of themselves. Remember, you are the first product, and we are going to talk about that. You are the product. So you must package yourself in a way that you can sell. You are a product in the marketplace with value, a product that sells. If you can't sell your product, that is yourself, then there is nothing that can be bought. Remember, people buy you first before they buy from you. Yes, I love saying that I was employed in 2 different organizations, but it's not because of my certificate. I took my certificate later after I got the employment. I took them for them to file. You see, and I learned that employers will not even check much about your qualifications and certificates rather than the ability that you are able to do what you claim to be able to do. And you will be surprised why people are always asked for experience, yet they are just out of college, because they should have been doing something. So you should be able to prove, and more so now that people are talking about COVID. COVID has changed lots of things. People who are being paid because they were present, they logged in at 8 and logging off at 5, will no longer be paid like that. They'll be paid because they are producing something. So, if you do what they do, you will get what they get. The first thing is to know your product, know yourself, know what capacity you have, what are your strengths, what is it that you're good at that you can sell. Why would somebody need you? Or what solution can you provide? Believe in yourself, believe in your product, believe in the person you are. Everyone is unique and everyone can provide something. Everyone can be of value. Problem is, most times we devalue ourselves. Somebody says we grossly devalue ourselves and grossly overvalue some other people. We will think it's somebody else who can do it. Branding, and that's what I was talking about, packaging. How do you carry, if you carry yourself as somebody who just wants some help, and then people do not want to relate with people who are less successful, people who don't look like they are heading anywhere, people who are looking for help. They want to relate with people who look like they know where they're going, like they are successful. And so you've got to package yourself as somebody who knows where he's going, where she's going, somebody who can be independent, somebody who can be depended upon. Mind your business. This is very important. It might be a simple statement, but if you listen keenly, most people do not sell or do not do something to earn because they mind other people's businesses. They are thinking about what will so and so and say. And this has made many graduates become poor. Because I am a graduate engineer in engineering, how can I start selling this other thing? And you're looking for an opportunity and maybe you don't get it and you're broke and you're looking for people to even help you photocopy your CV or to buy a computer. You see, the moment you start minding your business, somewhat you grow in value, you become mature, and you will do what is important for you, not what is important for somebody else. Not what somebody else wants you to do, but what you think is important for you, for your growth, for your business. So these are the qualifications. Qualifications. I hope all of us are listening. These are the qualifications. Number one is desire. I really wanted to earn in the university, so I had the desire. In fact, the first thing I did when I joined the university with the little money I had, I looked for shavers, the machines to shave people. I wanted to learn how to shave so that I could do it in the hostels. But I bought a wrong type because of my lack of knowledge. I've written this in part of my books. And I realized that I could not do much with that. The next thing, my desire was not quenched. I felt, what is it that I could do? I went and learned some computer packages and started, and then I picked my loan and bought some assembled computer. We called them clone computers. And then I started typing for people. I learned how to type. I still love it. I started designing for people their CVs, posters in the university, and then I bought a printer and started printing, and somewhat things were moving. Goal. Do you have a goal in mind? What is it that you want to achieve? Remember, if you do not know where you're going, you cannot reach where you cannot reach it. You must know where you're going. You want to know what is the goal? What is it that you want to achieve? So you'll notice that these qualifications are very simple. Discipline. Somebody talked about discipline. And I love asking, what is discipline? Simply means you do what ought to be done when it ought to be done, whether you feel like doing it or not. If it is time to, if you have time schedule, discipline also, one of my mentors said, the best way to check if somebody is disciplined is the way he keeps time or she keeps time. And many people have lost opportunities because they didn't keep time, meaning they sold themselves short. They were not able to be seen as people of value, because if you don't value time, it means you are not a person of value. Nobody wants to work with you. Nobody wants to buy you. You are a cheap product. For you to look like you are somebody who is of value, somebody who needs to be respected, you must be somebody who is disciplined, and that means you keep time. So timing means you can even schedule yourself. At this time I will read, this time I will do this time I will do this, and you keep it. That discipline of continuing to do what ought to be done, whether you feel like doing it or not, is something you cannot do without if you really want to succeed and earn money. Guts. This is very important also, and more so where I'm heading to. You will know that guts is a very critical element, qualification. Guts here means you can take courage, a bold step to go do it. In fact, we say it means get used to sneers. Get used to sneers. Get the acronym there. Get used to sneers. When you start, for example, in college, you start selling something. I had friends who are selling eggs. Some people will talk ill about it. Yeah, sasa huyu alikuja kusoma ama kuuza. You see, but you have a goal. You want to survive in college. I know so many students who drop out of college because they lacked money with which to survive. So there are so many students who quit their education because they were not able to survive in college. But their main reason is they lacked the guts. Maybe somebody sold to them an idea. Why can't we start plaiting ladies' hair? We know how to play. We can learn how to plait. And they feel like, sasa saloonist, do I really need to be in the university to do that? And by the end of the day, they are broke, and people will take advantage of them, and they will go even sell their bodies elsewhere. You see, we must learn to have guts, getting used to sneers, people who will discourage you. You cannot do it, you are not meant for it, this is not yours, until it becomes get used to success. You start seeing people now admiring you because now you are able to take control of things. You see, so you must be somebody with guts. You get used to sneers, over the time, you get used to success. Most people do not like to tell people about what they can do or what products they have that they can sell. They feel somewhat ashamed. And then how do you think people will buy what you are ashamed to talk about? Remember, we said selling is transfer of enthusiasm. So we must think in terms of discipline and getting used to sneers. I just pasted this just to let you know that in typical selling, which is what you should become, if you are becoming a leader and you want to sell more, by the way, the largest number of self-made millionaires come from this industry where they are selling things actually, literally. 48% of sales people never do follow-up with a prospect. A prospect is somebody who is able to buy your stuff. 25% of salespeople make a second contract and stop. 12% will only make 3 and stop. 10% will do more than 3. But 2% of sales are made on the first contract. 3% are made on the second contract. 5% on the third contract. And this is a research that's been done. 80% of sales are made after the 5th contract, usually up to the 12th. So you must be somebody who is persistent. And that's why I'm talking of guts. Yes, people will start accepting that you sell that thing over time. And this is something I've experienced for many years. A few times I was out of school, in secondary school. I dropped out of school. One is I was not able to join secondary school because nobody was paying for me. So I took a whole year before going to Form 1. And then when I was supposed to be in Form 3, I was again out of school because I was chased away. I did not have school fees. And I took another whole year. During that year, I was selling, and people started naming me names of the things I was selling. I hawked sweets in town. I hawked eggs, boiled eggs. I love saying that I was the pioneer in selling boiled eggs in our the small town. Somebody still does it, who started it just during my time after I'd started, and it looked like it's making some sense. And it's still there. There is no growth. What you must learn is people will name you names, people will discourage you along the way, but if you persist long enough, you become better and you even grow. And I will give you practical examples. So are there opportunities in campus? And the answer is very many, and more so today. Today, in our present economy, there are lots of opportunities. By the way, sometimes I meet students out of college and saying there are no jobs, and I wonder where they're looking for jobs. There are too many jobs. Problem is there are very few qualified people, very few competent people. Most people have negative attitude, so they can't grow. Activity fees. Lots of people everyone in college pays activity fees. Where do you think the college spends this? The college spends it in students' activities. So if you are involved in students' activities, you will always be able to earn something from college. And you will earn from people who are cool, people who don't have the guts. Yes, you will go sing. I was singing, I was a member of the university choir, and I earned quite some beat. And sometimes during holidays, and it was advantageous to me because I did not have a place to go to. Most times, I did not have many relatives in Nairobi. I only had one, and I did not like going to his place that much. So they would keep us as they train us to go present or perform somewhere, and they pay us per day. They have some cumulative payment. There are students in my campus, Chiromo, who would organize handball. or basketball, something like that, and they organize an activity. They are going to Mombasa, and the university somewhat pays. So there are activities that some students just earn from in the university. There are college programs to help you earn and learn. Like I used to have friends. Today I have an advocate friend with whom we were in college, and he works with the UN in the legal department. He did law in Parklands, but he used to work in Jomo Kenyatta Library, JKML, in the University of Nairobi to earn and learn. He's given that opportunity during holidays. He does it. I know of students who are working in the halls of residence during their holiday session. They are given that opportunity to earn, to work and learn. Some of us won't do that. In Nawachiromo, I know people who are working in the morgue. They take care of the bodies, and sometimes even at night, you see, and they earn something. So there are always opportunities that universities have. And this is what happens when our people went abroad. When they're in the universities abroad, they do lots of things in order to keep afloat. But here in Kenya, we are very cool people. We do not want to be involved. We do not want to do other things. Sisi tumekuja kusoma. Yeah, you are told to major on the major. You're just studying. Remember, doing all these other things help you to learn people's skills. You relate with people, you become a leader, and by the end of the day, when you go looking for some other job, you can mention that I worked in the library, I worked in this, I worked in. They see like you are not just a bookworm. Yeah. By the way, it's important to know that most times, first class honors students with no experience at all hardly get it easy getting a job. Most employers feel like these were just bookworms. You'll realize that they were not involved in many activities. So get your first class, but be somebody who has some practical experience in working something, being involved in leadership. What do people lack around you? When I reached Chiromo, we looked around. At one point, we thought about, should we put up a salon? We were not able to secure the place that was being used. Yes, somebody else got it. There were lots of opportunities. People were selling different things, others selling shoes. In fact, some students were selling vehicles, and you wonder, how can a student sell a vehicle? It's because they have connections. You know, in present day situation, you do not have to have that product, that item. You only need to know where you're going to get it the moment you get somebody to buy it. Yes, you can sell books. People are looking for books. Bring them into the hostel. Sell them to your colleagues who are looking for books. Sell pens, pencils. Look for something that you can sell around. Sell clothes, for example. Yes, sell slippers. Sell jelly or soap. If you have something you're selling, you will always make some money. And that will be able to help you to survive in college. By the way, the money you need to live in college is usually very little, because meals in the universities are usually the cheapest. You see, so if you get a few things you can sell, and that also teaches you the selling skill, which is the most important skill somebody can get in life. If you do not know how to sell, you will not even be able to sell yourself to earn your job. You will not even be able to bargain for a good salary. You will not be able to get things going. So it will give you that experience. Experience of selling is unlike any other. Sales is important. So look for something you can sell around you. You could be selling lab coats. I remember when first years joined the university, people who are working in the halls of residence in the university selling things. They sell everything. Others come with lab coats. Others come with, they know what people are going to look for. You see, selling t-shirts, key holders, all sorts of things. In the universities, there used to be also things called anti-janitor to close the doors and things like that. Look for good quality things, sell them. Yeah, you don't need a lot of money. Maybe if you are getting a loan, you might just require 5,000 to put. The other day, no, not the other day, but a number of years ago, there is a guy who kept asking me for money all the time, calling me, oh, we are spending hungry with my family. Then I called him, and we sat down, and I told him, take some little money, even if it is 200 or 300 bob. Go to Gikomba, Pick clothes for 20 bob, 30 bob, go wash them, clean them very well, iron them, and then walk with them in your neighborhood. People will buy them for 100, 150, 200, and you will start earning money. They went and did that with his sister, and the life changed, and I solved their problems once and for all. So sell, but some people will feel they are too cool to do that, and so they don't even have fare to do things. Insurance is an industry that is always absorbing, always. But enough people will say, now, how can I start selling insurance? The beauty with insurance is they train you and they give you a certification. And the moment they give you that, it cannot be withdrawn. You have some value added. And then, besides that, if you learn it very well, you will always grow. You will be independent. You will never want to be employed. I have friends with whom we finished college and joined insurance, like Heritage Insurance. And they did maths. These are people who really performed and got good grades, good degrees, quality degree. But today they are independent. Not long ago, one of them sold to us insurance for our firstborn. And later, when I was talking to her, I was asking, would you like now to be employed and get a salary? She says, I can't even imagine that. It's too restrictive. I love this freedom. I determine what I want to earn, and I determine my own timetable. They are very successful. I have very many friends who are doing this, and they're very successful, but they started somewhere. Most of us do not want to start down where people start. Network marketing. Network marketing is a very big opportunity, real network marketing, not pyramid schemes. Network marketing teaches you business, teaches you how to sell, teaches you to become, to get the life skills that are very necessary for you. And there are a number of them out there that you can learn and become a distributor. We call it direct selling. And you will grow and have some income to support yourself, and you support your education, and you even support your siblings. By the way, your parents always want you to be independent, first and foremost, so that you don't bother them. When you become independent, they will never be even bothering to ask you, where are you right now? Are you in the house? Because they know you are responsible. People become responsible when they have money. Now, after that, they want you to be dependable so that they can depend on you. Yes? But you cannot be dependable. Nobody wants your opinion if you don't seem to be having money. Skill, have some skill. I've seen people going to do CPAs to go look for jobs. Somebody is doing, like in our college, people who are doing science, then the part-time they go do CPA, CPA 1, CPA 2, whatever, up to CPA K. By the time I got a degree, he or she also has a CPA. But the question is, they just keep them. While people are outside there looking for people to help them balance their books of account, to file for them returns, tax returns. But they do not want to sell that. Yes? You probably know how to fix a computer, how to install Windows, how to install an antivirus or get rid of virus in a computer, how to, you know how to maybe use a particular equipment like printer. Maybe you know how to dye clothes, you know how to print t-shirts, but you're not selling that skill. So nobody will be able to pay you for it. Maybe you know some packages in a computer. You can train some people. You can organize some holiday tuition for children, and you teach them computer. You can organize tuition, holiday tuition. You can do this nowadays even virtually. And you earn, people will be willing to pay you. You just need to prove that you are an authority in a field. For example, maybe you are doing engineering, you can teach maths. Maybe you are also good in chemistry. Just, you don't need to teach every subject. Just organize yourself. There is also online writing that people nowadays do. Online services, graphics, design, web, and all sorts of things. Digital marketing is becoming a big deal. Certificates will no longer be needed, just the ability to be able to do it. So be ready to learn some skills and have multiple skills. Sharpen yourself, grow in value in the marketplace, and learn. Have some part-time job. Part-time job, people will be willing to hire you just for a particular period of time to go and balance their book, to go and file their returns, to go and help them in maybe selling, promoting a particular product, and all sorts of things. Just part-time employment, and you will be able to get a breakthrough. And you are gaining experience. but you must be aggressive enough. So these are some basic principles. Large numbers, if you are selling, don't come and say that, oh, I tried to sell to 2 people, they refused. Just get to know you need to talk to enough people to get enough others buy. You may need to talk to 10 to get one buy, depending on your level of salesmanship. There is law of sowing and reaping. Sowing and reaping. You cannot reap if you do not sow. So there is a time to sow, and that is where you are looking for people to buy. That is where you are acquiring the skills. That is where you're talking to people. You're developing your discipline, your guts. You must be able to sow. If you know, don't sow, don't expect to reap. There are seasons. You see, you will have a season of learning. You will have a season of harvesting. You'll have a season of planting. You'll have it. There are seasons, and you'll realize that things don't just start and grow. Boom. You must pass through various seasons, and you must appreciate seasons. There will be seasons when maybe sales are down. If you are dealing in school uniforms, for example, people buy them right now because they are going to the next class. They are joining new schools. They are in between. It might be low season. So the concept of seasons is very important in business. Law of averages. This is very important. Law of averages. If you talk to enough people, you will only get enough. We say uh, the law of averages dictates that if you speak to a certain number, you can convert a particular number. So if you do not obey the law of averages, somewhat things may, if you do not understand it, things might not work for you. Expectation, law of expectation, only expectant mothers deliver. You must expect in order to get. If you do not expect to win, you will not win. If you do not expect to sell, you will not sell. If you do not expect to graduate, you will not graduate. If you do not expect to get a job, if you do not expect to gain a skill, you will not. Because you must install that mental attitude of expectation, positive expectation, very, very important for you. The other very important law is that of attraction. You must attract that which you want. How do you attract it? You must think about it. You must focus on it and work for it. You must not think about anything negative. If it is a job, you must talk about it as if you already know you are going to get it. If it is a sale, you talk, and this is what these are some of the things I've practiced. To me, I never feel it whether people are in COVID or not COVID, because somewhat I will always be able to earn, because I apply these things: law of expectation, law of attraction, and all these other things. So what we focus on, we attract. What we focus on expands. And in conclusion, you can sell. The more you sell, the more you grow, the more you earn. There is no way of earning. People only earn when they sell. So these are the 2 books that I've done so far. Live Your Dream in 7 Ds, which is personal development book. Then there is the one for leadership, The Making of a Symphony Orchestra. I train people in leadership, sales, business consultation, team building, and help people to start their businesses from registration, including putting their businesses online and all sorts of things. So it's time for questions and answers. Questions, you can always get in touch. You can look for me at otienopolpeter.com and you'll get all the contacts. Yes. So let's have people ask questions, or if they are there in the chat box, Irene can read them.
Right now, I don't see any questions. Don't have a question so far. Maybe I'll give you the members who are in. Any questions? Gift has raised their hand. Gifts, you can ask.
Oh, hello. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yeah, you can hear.
So thank you for the talk. I had some few questions I wanted to ask. I'll be very brief and straight to the point. The first question I wanted to ask is, should you venture into a certain prospect whereby, for example, if I'm, let's say I'm 22 years old and I have this business idea, but let's say my parents do not approve of it. should I still continue to venture with it? And so long as it's legal, and yes, but my parents are negative about it. So should I pursue it or should I just stop? And then the second question I wanted to ask is, when do you know that I should give up or I should continue? Like, where do you draw the line when it comes to a business or when it comes to selling yourself, that if I'm going to do this, if I have these indications, this will encourage me to do continue, or if I get these indications, this will discourage me from continuing. So yeah, those are my two questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gift. Very good question. One is, I always say, follow your heart. Most of us might be tempted to live our parents' lives. But remember, uh, you are not your parent. So follow your heart. When your heart tells you that this is the right thing to do, and you can see it's profitable to you, you are better off following it. You know, our parents are always, there's those of us who are brought up in a caged environment. They are protective. And by that, they will not allow you to grow. They will not release you to grow, to become your own person. And these are the people who, even by the end of the day, you cannot go and look for your own place to stay. It must be approved by your parents. Even when you get into a relationship, you marry, if your parents don't approve, you cannot go on. And by the end of the day, it doesn't mean that they are always right. So learn to communicate, explain yourself to your parents. But if something is right and you feel it's the right thing for you, follow it. If so your parent doesn't want you to engage in a particular business, ask them why. Is it that you probably will not concentrate in your studies? What is it that they want? Can you assure them that you are disciplined enough, you'll be able to allocate time appropriately and still be able to pursue it? So, and they also need to appreciate that you want to gain some confidence in yourself. You want to be able to gain experience in order to be able to survive. The other thing is when to give up. Why do you want to give up? There are only two ways to fail in life: failing to start and failing to finish. If something deemed right for you even from the beginning, trying it and failing to get the results you want does not mean you quit. It simply means maybe you tried the wrong formula. You see, if I was given a particular mathematics and I try it and I get a wrong result, that does not mean I give up. I can still learn it and continue until I'm able to get it. So winners quit never, and quitters win never. Just get to know that you have no reason to quit at any particular point. Again, it's good to know that quitting is a habit. People who've put in their minds that if it fails, I quit, will always quit. So you do not want to get into that habit, because habits are formed and somewhat they get into your subconscious. So be somebody who is always determinant, and it helps you to become resilient enough. That's what I can say.
Next we have a question from Humphrey. So Humphrey said this: just one, the issue of irrelevance of old school campus experience to new school campus experience stroke modern campus experience. Do you think that patterns have changed and the rhythm of mentorship to students should also change? Then
I don't seem to get that question clearly.
also I don't know if Humphrey is on. Humphrey, can you ask your question? If you can ask through the mic. Humphrey.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Just ask both questions.
Let me ask. Hi, Paul. Thank you for the nice presentation. I'm behaving as if I've logged in this meeting or pub. So I'm just in a place I can talk actually. I'm just concerned the the models of mentorship in campus. I'm trying to ask Paul if, according to his experience, do we have some need to modify the mentorship we offer to the campus? Because the old school version, I think, of mentorship is actually deceasing out. So I'm just asking Paul, and it was just like a comment and a light question of saying, can you advise those who are mentoring students to upgrade their modes of mentorship? Because issue ya ile tukwanga tukisikia that campus ukisoma this job and all that, those things are no longer real, though they are still people who benefit from them. Yeah, that's the question, Paul. I believe.
Thank you, Humphrey. And Humphrey is a student's leader, by the way, in the University of Nairobi. So good, welcome. One thing I know is if we don't read the science of time, we end up becoming extinct. In the book, Who Moved My Cheese, there is a statement that if we don't change, we become extinct. And it's a book I recommend all of you to read. If you've never read it, it's called Who Moved My Cheese? We must be people who smell the cheese often and see the changes that are happening. For example, today, if somebody is still into the traditional thinking that let me work hard, get grades, and go look for a job, you probably are going to be surprised. And so anybody who teaches you something like that, you also need to check their orientation. You see, today, many people have known that, like right now, people lost lots of jobs last year and this year. Some of these people have never known the field of entrepreneurship. So it's good to know that things have changed and we've got to change with changes. And including what we teach students when we are talking to them, including even the courses. Some of the courses in the universities are very archaic and will not be helpful. And that's why from time to time, universities even change the names of their courses, you see, to make them more appealing. Last a couple of years, somebody graduating with a medicine degree was already guaranteed a job. Yeah, in the University of Nairobi, the first point they were to be absorbed is KNH and some of them in big district hospitals. But today that has changed. They look for jobs like any other. And that becomes a really pathetic scenario. Today, many people with law degree are looking for jobs and they are very desperate. And they've spent lots of years in the university because they lacked the entrepreneurial skills. They cannot see how to make their skills profitable. You see, they are looking for somebody else to hire them. That becomes hard. So we must be people who change with changes. I agree with you.
Thank you. That's very clear to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The second one, I think you can read it out.
The second question, the campus business cannot favor all students due to population interest, and the outside business outsiders can go beyond 3 months, 4 months, holiday break. Okay, vision. Now, a few things. One, if you can identify a business area you are interested in, for example, somebody is studying law, why can't you start by organizing free legal advice, even to students? Why can't you go and hire and get some law firm, even during your study time, just to see how they practice? Tell them, I don't expect you to pay me anything. By the end of the day, they will be paying you something anyway. You see? So if you check a business area where you are really passionate about and interested in, you can develop some relationships with the industry in that sense, and you can see what you can do in your capacity as a student. That is for long-term people. And even the businesses that you start can be very long-term. I've seen people who are, somebody is practicing, today I was discussing with another gentleman, he's an architect, but he's also supplying electrical equipment for houses, you see. So nobody said you need to do one thing. You can start a business with a long-term perspective, and you see how you will graduate with it outside campus. Another thing, today, we do not need, campus life is a little flexible. It's not like you get into class 8, you come out at lunchtime, and then you go back in the afternoon. You have lectures. And so the businesses that you can do should be those ones that are flexible. You can even get these 3 months things when you are out of college. You can get some sales promotion. Maybe you are going to promote Equity Bank or whatever. You see, so check the schedule, and this is why people earn and learn, because you are still studying, but you are fixing it within your studies. Today, I know a number of students in the university who are also employed and working. And by the way, some of them, we just gave them a talk like this 3 years ago. Today, some of them are building websites, some of them have been employed doing some sales, others are in the TV screens. People are watching them giving news, you see. So we've seen all of that. It all, whenever you're getting some engagement, just see how it's going to fit into your schedule. And that's why we talked of discipline. You program yourself. And we talked about goal. What goal do you have? Do you have a desire? Great. I see it's well after 10. If there is any burning question, otherwise we can close. Irene?
There's no other question.
Catherine can comment. Yes?
There's no question.
Okay. Okay.
Questions, you can forward it to either Vijana.
Wewe hatukupati.
Yeah. You can't hear? Now? Sasa hivi nanipata?
Yes.